so cold. Shoot. When I tell y'all it's cold. Woo. What's up, people? This is Joseph R. WĒLr III, the artist, the founder, the president, WĒLr Rides. No, nobody's gonna be in the seat behind me in my car. It's just gonna be me. I'm not picking up anybody. We will have special guests sometimes. That's part of what I wanna do. But for now, just sit back, relax, roll with a brother in my A-town, my hometown. Come see what the ATL is all about. And today I'm doing a special feature on
Black, living in Black Hollywood. Man, it's feeling so good in Black Hollywood. Yes, dreams come true in Black Hollywood. This can happen to you. Black sees a bumblebee beneath $1 billion theater, low premiering and surround sound cinematically.
All right, here in Union City, and this is Atlanta Metro Studios to my right here. See that huge sign? Now let me give y'all some real Atlanta history for those who don't know and those who will know and will reminisce about everything I'm about to say. So Atlanta Metro Studios is currently, you see all of that down there? That's the whole studio, it's huge. And it's much bigger than what used to be here. It's currently an active television and film studio here in Atlanta, Georgia area, metro area. This is outside the city. This is, I guess you could say, about 30, 35 minutes away from downtown Atlanta. But all of this that is here now was once Shannon Mall. Anybody know real Atlanta stuff? Shannon Mall was, in my opinion, one of Atlanta's better malls at its peak. The story of Shannon Mall, as I was saying, Shannon Mall was, in my opinion, Atlanta's little mall that could. You know, it was a small mall, but it was a mighty little small mall. It had like the marble style floors, as I remember, in the center of the mall. And there was a huge sunroof that was gorgeous. It was gorgeous. I mean, it was like, you know, the sun come through on a beautiful day like this. It was a really nice mall. Now, over time, unfortunately, as neighborhoods change and demographics change and things of that nature, you know, a lot of stuff went wrong with Shannon Mall. And it became one of those malls where the only thing that's open in Shannon is, you know, one major store. Like I think the last to close was, I'm trying to remember, okay, we had Sears, we had, one time you had something called Mervyn's that was, I think before it was Mervyn's, it was JCPenney's. But Mervyn's was the bomb. I used to love Mervyn's, that was my store. Love some Mervyn's. Mervyn's, you could get some really cool, affordable clothes. My mom used to love Mervyn's, and it was during the time when, you know, you go shopping with mom and mom pick out your clothes for you, and you're like, Mom, oh wait a minute, I do like that, you know. I could go in there and I wouldn't be mad at whatever mom picked. I'd be like, yeah, I rock that, heck yeah, and be thankful that I got somebody who could buy me something. So that was the love of having the kind of life I did growing up. So shout out to mom and dad forever. Riches at one time, which became Macy's. Folk from Atlanta gonna know what I'm talking about when you talk about old school Atlanta. Riches was a department store. Macy's came after them, as I remember. And I think when I used to live in the Union City area, and you know, when I was young and all that, I can remember the whole, just, you know, just the vibe of being in that mall at the time. You know, my middle school years. I'd say from middle school through most of high school, or some of high school, it was a really nice vibe. It was a really, really cool situation. Shannon Mall was the bomb. And then things started to change. Unfortunately, that mid-90s thing, it just got crazier and crazier. It's not to say everything is bad over here. You know, there's always great people in tough situations, but Union City's been through a lot. It's still going through a lot. And, you know, hopefully businesses like the studio and things like that can bring certain kinds of opportunities might start to affect the surrounding communities. I haven't seen that as much. I thought that was what was going to happen when that studio came. I just thought that everything was going to change with it, that, you know, quote unquote gentrification was going to come right behind it and just kind of sweep the whole area and change everything. Didn't quite happen. You know, it's still kind of under siege of a lot of issues with, I'll just say, the ghettoization of the mind. You know, you got plenty of very upward progressive minded people that live here and have nice homes and keep up their homes and keep up their neighborhoods and all that good stuff. And then you got some other mentality, you know, and that's just the truth, you know, and it's unfortunately the truth in a lot of places. Atlanta has a whole lot of that going on. So anyway, we're moving over to Flat Shoals Road. We were just on Jonesboro Road, which is where the studio was off of. We'll get back over to the expressway, but while I'm over here, I may as well roll by one of my favorite libraries of the past. As an artist, as a visual artist, what I was first and foremost known for before I got into the acting and film biz, I had one of the last major public art opportunities I went out for. Every building in Fulton County has a 1% budget for public art. So they have to invest 1% of the budget of that facility into an opportunity for an artist to get a commission and do a piece of art, or multiple pieces of art. Sometimes it's one artist, sometimes it's 2 or 3 artists will get the bid. And I went out for one at this library here that I'm about to turn into, the South Fulton Library. And I'm gonna give y'all some slang, and I want y'all to remember this when y'all see this video, because see, I know how things, I've said things over the years here and there. You know, I'm not E40 with it. I'm not the king of slang or anything, you know, because every library in Atlanta, Fulton Public Library System, has a code name that goes with that library. And so they call this So Full, S-O-F-U-L, for South Fulton. And I love that because when you say it, it's like saying it's so full. It's so full of possibilities. It's so full of opportunities. So that was kind of my thing. So full is what I call South Fulton because of that. But yeah, it sits amongst the trees. So I remember the thing about the bid was they wanted all the artists to have something that reflected the trees, and the library that sits amongst the trees. And Atlanta is known for its trees, if you don't know. I think, if I remember right, we are, as far as a city, it's a metropolitan area. We have more green than any other city in the U.S., something like that. It's either #1 or on, I think it is #1, if I remember right. So, you know, I'm very proud of that because I love nature and I love being in the outdoors. If you're not familiar with the Outdoor Experience, a subsidiary of my nonprofit, ONYXCON, check that out. You see what I mean when I say I love it, because I'm all about it. Hiking, fishing, and everything related. So as I was saying, you know, I hadn't been doing it for a while. I've just started my acting experience, and as I remember, even when I got the call to apply for it, it wasn't even something I was aware of. It was just somebody that knew me in the system that reached out and said, "We think you ought to go for this. You know, we know who you are as an artist. We know how good your work is. We think you ought to go for this." And I'm like, well, in that case, I guess I shall. So, you know, I did it or whatever, but like I said, I didn't get it. And, you know, when you don't get those kind of things, you put in so much time to apply, you almost feel like, man, did I waste time? Did I waste time? I ain't got time to be wasting, you know. But it wasn't a waste of time. It was a lesson. Everything's always a lesson. And I think what I learned most from that situation was, it's okay. If something doesn't happen, it's always for a reason. They say everything happens for a reason. I didn't get that opportunity because if I had, I would have been so caught up with that, I wouldn't have been able to build myself more as an actor now. I would have gotten paid a little more probably in a year from doing that art commission than I would have in a year of doing just background work for the most part, extra work as an actor. But would nobody know me in the Hollywood scene? Would nobody know me in the Atlanta ATL scene? You know what I mean? So it worked out. It was meant to be that I did not get that, so I could stay focused. Wow, these folk out here. Woo, see, this is why you're riding with me, so you can see, woo. There was somebody on the other side of the street, they swerving like they about to come over on the opposite side of flow of traffic. Too much. That'd be the other part of driving in Atlanta. And for the record, for anybody who sees it, say, I know that's right, because I live in Atlanta, and folk in Atlanta can't drive. Hold up, shawty. Hold up, player. There's plenty of folks from Atlanta that couldn't drive before everybody came from everywhere else. But for the record, we have people from everywhere in the world, and everybody want to be here, and y'all bring your bad driving with you. Plenty of y'alls that can't drive, okay? And that's no direct offense to where you're from, because I got people from everywhere and I love them all. I got my people in Atlanta, I got my people in New York, I got people in Cali, all over Cali. I got people in Philly, I know people in Chicago, I know people in Philadelphia. I'm naming all these places that I know people have especially come from. New Orleans, I could just go on and on. Pretty much any major city in the whole US of A has transplants in Atlanta right about now. So, you know, all together, good and bad driving on top of each other, here we are. Here we are. Normally, I don't do this, but I'm gonna do this today. Yo, let me show y'all something. This is Flat Shoals Road. I'm making a left here. This is actually well, I put it like this. This was the first street I can remember from my childhood. Okay? You understand? This is, to me, in my memories, where it started. It ain't really where it started. When I was a baby, my parents lived somewhere else, and then they moved over here. Because this is close enough to Union City, I'm going this way to show y'all what the old neighborhood looked like now, which, you know, it pretty much looked the same, but the energy is definitely different from what I grew up in. I hate to say it, but here we go again. What it is, gotta say what it is. I mean, to a lot of people in Atlanta who know Atlanta, this is a hood now. I mean, it ain't the worst of the worst, but it's kind of like places in Los Angeles. If you've been to LA and you know how you can be somewhere and it looks cute over here, it's a nice little neighborhood. It's like, yeah, it is a cute, nice little neighborhood, but unfortunately you got trifling folks that live in it, and then you got good people trying to keep them knuckleheads in check, and they just won't listen and do right for nothing. So it messes it up for everybody else who ain't about no craziness, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, this is my old stomping ground. Like I say, from as far back as I can recall. All right, be up in here. You know what I'm saying? Old joint. Oh wow, that fence is still there. Wow. Let me see if I can pass that car. That's that fence that's around the back of it that I'm about to be next to. Man, I remember that fence. Wow. That's crazy. You just would think some stuff would be gone, but it's still there. But yeah, that was my neighbors. This was the highs. All right, waves and some people wave back. That's always a good sign. When the old folks standing outside and you wave and they don't mind waving back, that's a good thing. That means everybody ain't totally crazy. Now, you pull up and they look at you, and you wave and they just look at you like, who the hell are you? Why you around here? Time to go. Time to go. You best to be getting on. Because even the old folk done got crazy around here. But anyway, this is the joint right here. Wow, that's the joint. It's the old house right there. Wow. How about it?